in his first start, how he found himself, and was able to kind of tell the team keep you guys really in it for the very end?
I mean, he looked like he usually does, composed, making the plays that we know he can make, and now he put us in position to win. And we got to.
Myles Garrett just snapped, and not in some oops, drop my helmet type of way. Nah, he went straight nuclear after hearing Dillon Gabriel was starting instead of Shedeur Sanders. The whole NFL world is in shock. Twitter's melting down like a bad game day call, and the Browns, man, they look like they need a team therapist ASAP. What did Gabriel even do to spark this madness? Did Shedeur really get robbed? And how did Garrett go from calm professional to total meltdown mode in half a second? Chaos isn't just coming, it's already here. If you're vibing with this drama, make sure to subscribe. It helps more than you think, because right now, Myles Garrett isn't just mad. He's furious, like someone just keyed his brand new car or stole his lunch out the locker room. Dillon Gabriel starting over Shedeur Sanders is like forcing a kid to eat cold broccoli while the cake's sitting right there calling his name. This decision by the Browns?
To really say about Dillon Gabriel over the next 3.5 hours? Well, he was composed. Great. You know how he conducted himself? He conducted himself how a career backup should conduct himself, where you just hope that you're able to hold down the fort until the regular starter comes back. The problem is, we don't have a regular starter that comes back. Well, we do, but nobody wants to see him. So nobody wants that to happen. So here we have to hope that Dillon Gabriel, a guy who is certainly limited, a guy who's smart enough to probably be a coach.
Straight up confusing. It's eyebrow-raising, head-scratching, and makes you wonder if the front office is secretly testing out a fantasy football experiment gone wrong. If this were a TV show, it'd be titled The Episode Where Cleveland Loses Its Mind. And Garrett's reaction? Pure legend. He's pacing, waving his arms, and giving death stares that could melt steel. Dude looks like he's auditioning for an Oscar in Gridiron Breakdown, the Myles Garrett story. The internet's exploding, GIFs everywhere.
The fourth quarter, it seemed like the success you had earlier in the brick wall unit.
Yeah, I think just got to convert. You know, you look back, there's obvious times you got to go make it happen. Starts with me, but us coming together collectively to go make that happen. But, you know, you look at a lot of the third downs to extend drives. That's where we can continue to, you know.
Memes flooding timelines. Dillon Gabriel's name just went viral, but not the way he'd want. Cleveland might have just started a storm they can't control. But here's the real kicker. Shedeur Sanders is still cooking up his greatness. He's that shiny Ferrari parked in the garage, while everyone else is out here driving beat-up sedans with missing hubcaps. The Browns just won't hand him the keys. Every time he's left sitting on that bench, you can feel the frustration across Cleveland. Fans are out here groaning in unison, thinking, man, this could have been legendary. And you know what's wild? At least they can't pin these ugly losses on Shedeur, because let's be honest, if he were starting, he'd already be the scapegoat they love to blame when things go south. They're protecting him.
The guy yelling at him to the right, or the dude to the left that just can't contain himself, that just wants to interrupt. And look, y'all got mad at me for saying it yesterday. Even people in Cleveland are saying it. He did okay. He managed the game. He got them just enough. The minute that he took a chance at the end of the game, he threw a pick. Got a second chance, and then he went short. Every pass he threw wasn't even over 5.5 yards. That's safe. That's okay. That's taking no chances and relying on everybody else to do their job.
But also denying themselves the star power that could have flipped the whole season. Meanwhile, poor Dillon Gabriel is out there trying his best. You can tell he wants to get it right, but it's like somebody gave him the wrong script for a Broadway show. He's reading lines that don't fit, while the crowd's yelling, "Yo, we didn't cast you for this role!" Every snap he takes turns into a social media autopsy. People are breaking down his plays like he's some experimental Elon Musk project that might either revolutionize football or completely blow up mid-game. And the coaching staff? Man, they're sweating bullets. Not real sweat, but that invisible panic dripping down their confidence. They're trying to trust the plan, but you can see it in their eyes. Please don't let this backfire on national TV. Meanwhile, Myles Garrett stomping around like a living warning sign. Every practice, every snap, every timeout, it's all ticking louder. Fans are spiraling. The tension's electric. And Cleveland, it's sitting on a football time bomb ready to blow any second. Twitter has turned into an absolute circus.
You were a little disappointed in some of the accuracy you saw from Dillon Gabriel, so I'll let you go first on this. What grade overall would you give Dillon in his first NFL
I give him a
start?
C. And that takes into account a lot of things. The wide receivers he has to throw to, the limited play calling, and maybe that's because of the wide receivers that you don't have. It's an offense that's very Kevin Stefanski-esque. He loves the tight ends. He had some open throws that he missed on. Not a lot, but he had some that would have helped move.
What used to be calm debates about defensive schemes is now a wild mix of outrage, chaos, and straight-up comedy. Someone even posted a Photoshop of Myles Garrett in full warrior armor, standing over Dillon Gabriel like he just won a medieval battle. And honestly, that image sums it up perfectly. The Browns' quarterback situation feels like a full-blown gladiator showdown. Logic on one side, pure madness on the other. But let's be real, Shedeur Sanders isn't just sitting around doing nothing. He's watching everything unfold, studying, learning, and probably shaking his head like, for real, this is what we're doing now? The man's got the arm, the IQ, and the star power, yet the front office seems obsessed with testing the limits of Cleveland's patience. Fans within a 50-mile radius are holding their breath, waiting for that moment he finally gets unleashed, because when he does, the internet's gonna detonate. Expect memes, GIFs, and reaction videos flooding every corner of the timeline. Someone's probably already drafting a college essay titled How Shedeur Sanders Was the Hero Cleveland Didn't Deserve But Absolutely Needed.
He's payroll or whatever. By the way, I'm the one who wrote the fact that he wasn't coaching Deshaun. I am. I'm the one that wrote that. Yeah. So don't tell me that I'm not critical of him, because I am. And you're 100% right with like some of the DTR nonsense that went on. You're right. You're 1,000% right with that. So it's not perfect. I just think, I just keep thinking back to that McDaniels thing, and I keep thinking back to like he wanted to clean out the building, and they told him, okay, see ya. Jimmy's not going to give him that control. He's going to be in the Friday meetings. He's going to be in the Monday meetings. And the way that they run things and the way that they operate things is so dysfunctional that it is very much.
And Myles Garrett? Oh, he's not hiding his fury one bit. He's parading his frustration like a flag in the middle of halftime, making it crystal clear. Benching Shedeur Sanders isn't just a bad call. It's a full-blown crime against football logic. Meanwhile, Dillon Gabriel is out there trying to prove himself, and hey, you gotta respect that grind. But let's face facts. He's trapped in the toughest spot possible, the starter living in someone else's shadow. Every throw, every snap, every incomplete pass feels like it's under a giant magnifying glass crafted by scientists who enjoy pain. Fans are comparing everything he does to Shedeur's potential, whispering after every mistake. That wouldn't have happened if Shedeur was out there. The pressure's unreal, and it's only getting heavier by the minute. Man, don't even get me started on the media. The headlines are practically dripping with sarcasm and disbelief. Stuff like Brown's questionable QB move backfires again, plastered everywhere. You can almost hear the frustration through the screen. And Myles Garrett, he's not just standing on the sideline watching a football game, he's witnessing a slow-motion tragedy. You can see it in his face.
That is cleansed, and it's never going to be cleansed. It is a massive obstacle for any coach to overcome, which is why I said a couple weeks ago, I truly believe the Browns' only chance at actually winning at a high level is to get lucky on a quarterback like the Bengals did with Burrow. That is their only chance. Short of that happening, it don't matter who the coach is. It don't matter who the GM.
That mix of disbelief and rage as he watches potential burn up right in front of him. The chaos is brewing, the energy's tense, and somehow the Browns' management is sitting there calm as ever. But it's that eerie kind of calm, the kind you see right before a storm hits or a volcano blows. Either they're deep in denial or moments away from losing it completely. And let's be honest, when Garrett explodes, it's never subtle. It's headline-worthy, camera-catching, meme-generating chaos every single time. The tension in the locker room is heavy, like everyone's holding their breath waiting for the inevitable. Shedeur Sanders could have been that spark, the game changer, the shot of adrenaline this team desperately needed. But instead, they're looping through the same tired excuse, maybe next week. It's painful to watch. It's like seeing someone holding a winning lottery ticket and refusing to scratch it. The fans are screaming, check it, just check it already. And management, they're sitting there nodding like, patience, we'll get there.
Before we even get to this, here's the thing that I understand about Dillon Gabriel, and I've always said it. Said it on UCSS, I've said it on everything. Reality of the situation is this. Dillon Gabriel is playing. Do I think that Dillon Gabriel is a franchise quarterback? No. But am I sitting here hating on Dillon Gabriel? You can never accuse me of hating on Dillon Gabriel. He's starting. I'm going to see what he can do. If Dillon Gabriel comes out here and balls out, I got to say he balled out. You could do two things at once. You could say, I believe that Shedeur Sanders is good, and I'm waiting to see him play. I can also say, I want to see if Dillon Gabriel got something, and at the end of the day.
Meanwhile, Garrett's giving side-eye so sharp it could slice glass. And honestly, that's become entertainment gold. Every little thing he does, pacing, glaring, muttering under his breath, it's all going viral. Gabriel misses a throw? Viral. Garrett's reaction? Even more viral. The memes are endless. Wasted potential. A man waiting for his moment. Cleveland chaos in real time. Somehow, in the middle of all this madness, Shedeur still manages to look like the coolest guy in the room. The internet's hooked, analysts are obsessed, and fans are treating every game like it's the season finale of a chaotic reality show. Who's finally gonna get their shot? Will Shedeur Sanders rise up and claim what's his? Or will Dillon Gabriel somehow survive this storm? The tension's boiling, the drama's electric, and the chaos? Oh, it's just getting started. Myles Garrett's meltdown was only the opening act. The Browns front office thinks they're playing 4D chess, but Garrett's out here like a tornado, ripping through the board, flipping every piece and shouting, "This ain't how it's done." And let's be real, this goes way deeper than football.
This could have been a B- game for Dillon Gabriel. There's one pass that he missed. They ran a bootleg that was on the first down when they were trying to ice the game.
Talking about.
Yep, I do too.
They ran a bootleg, and it's difficult for the play design because they booted to the right, which is against the grain for a lefty.
That's exactly right. It's a very tough throw.
And it's easy looking, but it's tough. He sailed the ball. He was wide open. That would have got you 5 to 6 yards, put you in the position you can run the ball. That should have been.
This is psychology, pride, and frustration colliding in real time. Watching elite talent like Shedeur rot on the bench while someone else gets the spotlight is painful. It triggers fans, stirs emotion, and even adds a touch of comedy to the chaos. It's the kind of saga that makes people scream at their TVs, replay clips 20 times, and jump into online debates like it's a full contact sport. Garrett, bless his wild energy, has turned into Shedeur Sanders' loudest hype man without even trying. He's practically running a one-man PR campaign, and the Browns can't do a thing to stop it. Now, if we zoom in on the fans, oh man, it's total digital warfare. Twitter's gone nuclear. It's a full-blown keyboard war zone. Someone even made a worst QB decisions of the century bracket. And guess what? Dillon Gabriel's already topping the list just for showing up. Meanwhile, memes of Shedeur sitting on the bench looking like he's in detention are taking over timelines. The Browns front office, they're in full denial mode, acting calm while mumbling, "We're thinking long term," which really translates to, "We have no idea what we're doing, but let's pretend it's strategy." And Garrett, he's pacing like a caged lion, his glare cutting through the air so sharp it could split a helmet in half. The pressure's rising, and it's clear. Cleveland's one bad play away from a full-blown explosion. It's honestly a miracle no one's burned their retinas watching this mess unfold. Myles Garrett has turned into a walking, talking, rage-fueled cautionary tale. A human billboard screaming, "This is a bad idea. It's gonna end ugly. You'll regret this." Every glare, every sigh, every sideline moment, it's pure fire and frustration wrapped in shoulder pads. Meanwhile, Dillon Gabriel is out there trying his absolute hardest. Really, he is. But he's like the hero who showed up to the wrong movie. He's battling dragons in a rom-com.
Kevin Stefanski is in serious trouble for allowing Dillon Gabriel to pretty much cost him the game in the fourth. Like Shedeur Sanders may not be getting any reps over in London, man. Footage has come out of the Cleveland Browns pretty much getting ready for this game against the Vikings. No footage has been released of Shedeur Sanders. Kevin Stefanski spoke to the media earlier.
Kevin, can you just talk about just the offensive drought once you got to the fourth quarter of your game?
Yeah, just felt a little, didn't get into very many advantageous down and distances. Ended up in too many third and longs. There were penalties. We just have to be better, have to score some points.
Would you do anything differently on the next to last drive? We ran 3 plays in 11 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, we ran it twice. They called their timeouts.
Every throw he makes lands with a collective groan from fans, and analysts are sitting there clutching their notes like, please, not again. And somewhere, probably late at night, Shedeur Sanders is training in silence like a monk, biding his time, because he knows when the world finally wakes up, it's gonna be spectacular. Shedeur's still developing, sure, but his ceiling, insane. The kid's a highlight reel waiting to happen. The problem? Patience, and Cleveland's fresh out of it. But here's the beautiful irony. Since Shedeur isn't starting, the Browns can't use him as the scapegoat. It's poetic justice, really. Normally they'd point fingers, blame him for every bad play, every loss. But not this time. Now that burden falls on someone else. And Garrett knows it. You can feel that simmering frustration radiating off him like heat from turf on a summer afternoon. His body language alone is a masterclass in passive-aggressive protest. He's basically the NFL's version of "I told you so," just with biceps and a helmet instead of a whiteboard and a mic. Picture the sideline right now. Garrett pacing like a storm cloud. Gabriel trying to lock in while pretending not to notice the tension. Coaches are whispering, eyes darting like they're in a spy movie, and fans, oh, they're absolutely losing their minds. Every incomplete pass turns into a full-on moral debate. Was that bad execution or just the lack of Shedeur Sanders' energy?
The rookie everyone's overlooking just made a statement. And some fans think Joe Flacco was set up. Dillon Gabriel did not play bad. But Dillon Gabriel didn't play good enough to warrant that the change.
Deep down, everybody knows the truth because the aura is real, the charisma, real, the arm, unquestionable, but Cleveland still refuses to unleash it. It's like watching someone ignore a mountain of gold just to dig around in a sandbox instead. And the media, they're feeding on the chaos like it's a buffet. Analysts are breaking down every frame of every throw like it's the key to world peace, and the funniest part? The Browns still think they're the ones in control. The headlines right now are dripping with sarcasm, disbelief, and just the right amount of panic. Stuff like Browns hope Dillon Gabriel can survive without Sanders, and Myles Garrett paces sideline like a man possessed, flood every sports page. Somewhere a journalist even posted a full-on diagram comparing Gabriel's throws to Shedeur's theoretical ones. Yeah, theoretical. Only in football do fans get this deep, analyzing imaginary passes like they're decoding ancient scripts. And Garrett? He's living rent-free in everyone's mind, game after game. Every stomp, every glare, every deep sigh hits like a message. Cleveland, what are you doing? He's basically a walking protest sign wearing a helmet broadcasting to the whole world. This is wrong, but nobody asked me. The frustration is loud, the body language is louder, and every single move he makes just fuels the fire. But the craziest part, even through all the drama, Garrett's still performing at a high level. He's still leading, still grinding, still reminding the locker room, the fans, and maybe even the football gods themselves. This whole situation is one giant questionable decision.
And it holds true again. Dillon Gabriel didn't do nothing special at all. Nothing special at all. Look at the stats. 19 for 33, 190 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And he got sacked twice. Dillon Gabriel didn't do nothing more than what Joe Flacco was going to do. Nothing. Game manager. He only threw 1 pass, maybe 2 passes over 20 yards.
And now, here comes the spicy part. Every single practice, every huddle, every timeout, you can feel the tension, the question hanging over everything. Is this the moment Shedeur Sanders finally steps in? Fans are barely breathing. Even people who don't care about Cleveland football are tuning in just to see what happens next. It's turned into the NFL's biggest reality show, except it's live, raw, and way more dramatic. Cleveland's front office thought they were making a smart, strategic move. But what they really made is the perfect storm of hype, frustration, and pure entertainment. Garrett's the star, Shedeur's the mystery, Gabriel's the target, and the Browns, they're just trying to survive the chaos they created. Myles Garrett is the tornado dead center in this storm, spinning chaos everywhere and making sure nobody forgets how bad this decision really was. Every stomp, every wild gesture, every glare toward the sideline feels like a thunderclap of frustration. It's as if the universe itself decided to throw a joke at Cleveland's expense. And guess what? The Browns got front row seats to the punchline. Meanwhile, Shedeur Sanders is on the sidelines doing the exact opposite. Calm, patient, locked in. Every day is another quiet masterclass in resilience. He's watching, learning, and probably smirking to himself like, y'all really gonna keep pretending this is working?
Shedeur is still stuck at QB3, which is mind-numbing. Unbelievable. This team, they take a step forward and still take a step backwards. But here's the other thing. Rookie quarterbacks against Minnesota, you talk about an uphill battle. So Minnesota last year went 5-0 against rookie quarterbacks. Their defensive coordinator is Brian Flores, and he just licks his chops when he sees a rookie quarterback standing in front of him. Here, they faced Will Levis last year, Caleb Williams twice, Bryce Young from the Panthers, and
He knows his time's coming, and when it does, it's going to be glorious. The moment he steps on that field, it won't just be a debut, it'll be a statement. But until that day, Cleveland's out here forcing the Dillon Gabriel experiment like they're trying to make fetch happen in football form. It's frustrating, it's ridiculous, and somehow it's hilarious too. The only upside, they can't pin these ugly L's on Shedeur Sanders, and honestly, that might be the biggest joke of all. The Browns are losing, and the one guy who could save them is still sitting on the bench. And if anyone thinks this saga ends quietly, think again. The media is about to have weeks of content. Every Garrett meltdown, every Gabriel misfire, every dream scenario of what if Shedeur started, dissected frame by frame. Because this isn't just football anymore. It's theater, chaos, and comedy rolled into one unbelievable season. It's wild how frustration turned into pure spectacle and rage morphed into primetime entertainment. Talent is sitting quietly on the bench while the entire football world spins out in chaos. The Browns might think they're just playing the game, but in reality, they've handed the whole storyline over to the NFL's most explosive defensive end and a calm, simmering quarterback who's about to make the biggest entrance we've seen in years. And the internet? Oh, it's feasting. Every meme, every clip, every meltdown, all part of the show Cleveland accidentally created. Now tell me what you think. Should Shedeur Sanders finally get his shot? Drop your thoughts below. And if you made it to this point in the video, make sure to like, subscribe, and share. It helps a ton. See you on the next one.